Hi. So I feel called today to film and upload a video about community because that has been the theme in a lot of the YouTube videos that have been coming up on my recommended list, and a lot of the conversations I've had with others, both online and in person. And one of those things was a quote that I like about the irony of loneliness. And the irony of loneliness is that so many of us have it in common. I was in a Zoom call with people in the collective I am a member of, and one of the big themes was the sense of feeling isolated and alone. And, this community is barely a month old, if that, and it has been transformational for me. I mean, I have my own little community, the tea time community. Very small right now, but we get together and we chat once a week on Zoom. And I had such a meeting today, and we also were talking about community and how important it is. I saw a YouTube video just before making this one about how the isolation that we are experiencing in the modern world is burning us out. How we have this belief that we need to be independent. We need to entirely take care of ourselves, and that somehow depending on someone else is in some way cheating, right? We need to be self-sufficient. I mean, my ego still comes in with that quite a bit. What kind of a man am I if I'm not entirely independent, self-reliant? I had been self-reliant for quite a while. I guess I still am, really. But it burned me out. And what gives me such a sense of peace and relief is getting on these Zoom calls, making friends. It feels so right, so aligned. And I believe that that forming these communities is the new earth, emerging from the old. So, I certainly intend to continue to participate in the online group I'm in, and I also hope to further grow my own online community, Tea Time. And I got the idea for Tea Time basically from the Institute for Advanced Studies in Princeton, New Jersey. And basically that's an idyllic setting in nature where scientists and mathematicians gather, take time off from their careers, gather there, and live the slow life and just kind of take time to let their theories percolate. And ultimately, a lot of them come up with new ideas there and something to publish. And when I read this book about John Nash, the mathematician, this one, it was talked about how attending tea time every afternoon was pretty much mandatory. And that is when everyone would get together, have some refreshments, and exchange information and discuss their ideas and their work and come up with new ideas together. And now, apparently, John Nash, according to the book, was not, at least early on, was not a very pleasant person. And he would attend tea time and hurt people's feelings. Okay? And that issue is important to think about in communities. You know, I think to have a safe and peaceful community, it is important that each of us do our self-healing. Look at what our wounds are and what is our subconscious programming. Open ourselves to God, to Source, for healing. And the result of that is a much more peaceful community, a safe community. I think that communities also need to have those in them that are healers, counselors, those that help us with finding and healing our wounds, those that can help us to settle the conflicts that arise from our wounds. In order to make the community a safer and more comfortable place to be. You know, when my children were small and sleep was scarce, it was a difficult time. It would have been wonderful at that time to have had extended family, to have had friends, neighbors, to help us with the kids. And, you know, those were an intense, let's say, 3 or 4 years. And then once the kids are a little bigger, they can help others with their small children, and so can we. The village raising the child. It takes a village to raise a child. Another quote that comes up in my mind fairly frequently when I think about community. As a group, as a collective, we also have more resources when it comes to negotiating, for instance, with other humans out there in the world. People that have resources that we need. As a collective, we can negotiate with greater credibility. More buying power. We also would have more access to specialization. You know, I am a scientist and a philosopher and a healer, but I am not a merchant or a financial analyst or an accountant or a business administrator. You know, my soul just doesn't really go along those lines. So of course I'd love to be part of a community that does have the business-minded people in there also. The online community that I'm presently in does have that, so I'm grateful. So that's pretty much my thoughts on this. You know, I see these communities emerging. I think it's inevitable. You know, I've been reading about abiogenesis, you know, the emergence of life from the raw materials, and how cells started off as bubbles, collections of molecules that would then react with each other, and the right combination of those became cells. I think the same sort of process is going on right now in our society. And I believe it is also encoded, perhaps in our DNA, but probably not only our DNA. I think there is code for us to form conscious communities at this stage, just like there was code for chemicals, for molecules to get together and form cells millions of years ago, billions of years ago, really. I think it's happening. And I'm grateful for that. So I'll announce that I'd like to have a tea time meeting 1 week from today. Today being the 24th, so that would be that'd be in February 1st, right? Yeah. And 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. time. And in the Unified Collective, I will place a link for it, at least to express interest. And otherwise my email is on my YouTube site, and I am open to receiving emails if anyone else watching this video would like to participate in tea time. We'll start it off in sort of an experimental way. We'll just see what emerges. As far as what we will discuss, well, you know, my own interest is in spirituality, philosophy and science and how these things come together. But we who already are in tea time, we're pretty diverse. And so we discuss a wide range of topics. So, anyways, thank you for getting this far in the video. I hope you liked it, and please place a like on it. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And now I'm going to put together a video on black holes and general relativity. So I will see you there.